Hello, everybody.
Hello, Mr. Roundtree. How are you today? All right. We're at the DOC headquarters. My name is Steve Prater. I'm the acting chairman for today. To my left is Pete Freeman. To my right is Chucky Tillis. We're here to talk to William T. Roundtree. Are you Mr. Roundtree?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and who is in the room with you as far as the staff goes? Would you introduce yourselves at East Baton Rouge?
Yes, sir. Lieutenant Mayberry.
Okay, Lieutenant, thank you for setting this up and getting it all ready for us. Mr. Roundtree, have you signed a questionnaire that talks about this hearing today?
Yes.
Okay, and you have that and you signed and understand that?
Yes.
Okay, the way it's going to go today is that I'm going to read these particular, some rules to you, and I'm going to ask you as I go over each rule, whether you plead innocent or guilty of having violated that particular rule. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, let's go ahead and let's get started then with rule number 3. You absconded from supervision. On 9/28 of 23, a parole warrant was issued due to you moving without obtaining permission from your parole officer. Your whereabouts were unknown until you were arrested by the Calcasieu Sheriff's Office on 12/5 of 2023. On or about 11/28 of 2019 and 8/10 of 2020, you were in the state of Texas without permission from your parole officer. Is that true?
Half of it is and half of it's not.
So,
How do you plead?
how do you plead on that?
Not guilty. On half of it and half of it, yes.
I can understand that,
Yes.
the way it's written. Were you ever in Texas?
Yes, sir.
Okay, without telling your probation officer?
Yes.
Okay, so that part to Texas is guilty.
The Louisiana, Lake Charles, you said I was counted from Lake Charles.
Right.
September of 23. No, I didn't. I was living in Lake Charles.
Okay. So that part you're saying not guilty.
Yes.
Okay, well, that'll work out. Well, it fit my lines just right. Rule 4, you failed to refrain from criminal conduct in that you were arrested by the Calcasieu Sheriff's Office on December the 5th of 2023, and you were charged with aggravated criminal damage to property and possession of alcoholic beverages in your motor vehicle. These charges were later dismissed. Is that a true statement?
Yes.
Okay. How do you plead to that?
Not guilty. All charges was dropped.
Okay. Let me ask you something. Is someone in there talking to you?
No. That's outside the door.
Well, I keep hearing somebody talking, and I was just curious if you had an attorney present or someone else.
No, sir, he doesn't. They've got a lot of movement going out in the hallway, so there's a lot of background noise. I'm gonna go shut the door.
That's okay. I just was curious if there was somebody telling you. Okay, let's go with another one. You're not guilty of you said of the other. Number 4, rule 4 violation again. However, a warrant from Baton Rouge police for home invasion and domestic abuse battery was executed, and you were transferred to the East Baton Rouge Parish Prison. These offenses occurred on July of 23. On March of 24, you were billed with domestic abuse battery under DC 2401029. On May 23rd of 2024, that charge was dismissed. In addition to the incident that led to this charge, the Baton Rouge Police Department has 7 other call-outs during your term of supervision regarding incidents between you and the same victim. Are those accurate statements? Are they?
They're accurate.
Okay. Are you guilty of having done that?
I'm not guilty, but they're accurate. When you ask me I'm guilty of what?
Oh, okay.
All charges was later dropped.
Guilty of not
There
guilty.
was call outs, huh?
Okay, not guilty. We'll say,
Not guilty with a state.
okay, here we go again. On February the 21st of 20, you were arrested by the Baton Rouge City police in charge with felony operating a vehicle while intoxicated, operating a vehicle while under suspension for certain prior offenses, reckless operation, simple obstruction of a highway, and possession of alcohol, beverages, and motor vehicles. You were billed under EBR DC 20-03059, and on July the 23rd of 2020, you pled to the offense of DWI first offense, and the court sentenced you to 6 months in the East Baton Rouge Parish Prison along with fines and court costs. At that time, you were issued a verbal reprimand by your parole officer who documented no knowledge of a July 2019 DWI. Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Okay, while conducting, this is rule violation number 4 again. While conducting a criminal record check after your latest booking, it was learned you were arrested on July the 18th of 2019 by Lake Charles PD in charge with misdemeanor operating a vehicle while intoxicated. In that case, you pled guilty as charged and placed on 5 years probation. Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Okay, continuing another rule violation 4. In addition, on November 28th of 2019, you were arrested by the Baytown PD in Texas and charged with DWI and collision involving damage to a vehicle over $200. On 6/29 of 2021, you were convicted of DWI in Harris County Criminal Court. Guilty, not guilty?
Guilty.
Okay, another rule 4. On August 19th, 2020, you were arrested by the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office in Beaumont, Texas, charged with assault, causing bodily injury, 2 counts, and unauthorized use of a vehicle. On November the 29th, 2021, the unauthorized use charge was dismissed. On February 6, 2023, you were found not guilty for the 2 counts of assault. Guilty, not guilty?
Not guilty.
Okay, number 10, you are in arrears, so you owe $1,666 towards supervision fees.
Yes. Guilty.
Guilty. Okay, number 13, special conditions. Enroll and complete anger management. On January 6th of 2022, after being allowed to make bond on a drug possession charge and having another domestic abuse battery charge dismissed, the parole board ordered you enroll in and complete an anger management program. On January 3rd, 2022, your parole officer advised you of the anger management condition that was to come, and you agreed to sign up for domestic abuse classes the following week. Since this time, you have failed to complete or provide verification of having completed any type of anger management program or domestic abuse program. Are you guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Okay. Okay. I appreciate that. That was tiring for both of us, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're gonna get to a little bit of question and so forth. This, who's
Mr. Tillis.
Mr. Tillis? This is your case as the primary investigator on it, so we just take over.
How you doing, Mr. Roundtree?
All right, and how are you?
All right, where do you live?
Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge. Okay, so what are you doing in Texas? What's going on there?
I was back and forth and trying to get a job out there. And at the time I had a girlfriend that was living in Texas, and I had went for the Thanksgiving holidays.
Did you check with your parole officer?
No, not at that time, because it was at the spur of the moment.
Okay. That's probably one of the reasons why you're here now, is that you need to check with your parole officer and let them know. I noticed that you pleaded guilty on a lot of the charges and not guilty on some. What's happening with the classes that you were recommended to take?
At the time, the job I had, by me traveling to and from the job, the classes wasn't lining up with my schedule at that moment. So I was trying to find another job in the process of that, trying to take the class.
Are you communicating with your parole office on these things, on these matters? A lot of times if you do that, they will assist in it.
I was trying to at that moment, and I was trying to go to school at the same time. So I had too much on my plate. I was trying to do, instead of just taking one problem at a certain time and doing it.
What's your plan now if you're granted?
To move and to get another job back in the plant, because I went to school for heavy equipment.
And you're talking about moving where?
either to the Lake Charles area or trying to get a transfer to Texas because there's a lot of construction jobs back in the plants that's opening up.
I see. Okay, I have no more questions.
Just, Roundtree, I'm sorry. Okay. What about all of the, drinking problems? What's the deal with that? All these people die.
Okay, just last year when I had moved to the Lake Charles area, I had checked into a sober living house. So I was under a sober living program. That's why I said I was not guilty on absconding in Lake Charles, because I was in a sober living house trying to get a control of my drinking and going to AA meetings.
Did you get arrested for anything after you went to that sober living place?
Yes.
So you still got a problem, is what you're telling me.
No, I don't have a problem. They thought I did. I had a cup. I had just come from the store.
Gotcha.
I had to go take a class that day for my job. I was working at Turner Industries in Lake Charles, and they thought I had alcohol in my car, which it wasn't.
Okay. All right.
Let me, from September of 2023 through December of 2023, where were you?
Lake Charles at the sober living house. You can check.
Why didn't you tell your parole officer?
My parole officer knew it's in my file. I was at the assessor's house. The supervisor didn't put it in my paperwork. Why, I don't know. You can get in touch with the people that's over the sober living house. That's where I was. Because I had to pay a fee every week. So I don't see, that's why I said I wasn't absconding. I was in Lake Charles the whole time. I was working for Turner Industries at the time of my arrest.
Well, you weren't there the whole time because some of the time you admitted you were in Texas.
No, you asked me from September of last year to the time I got arrested.
Now I said from September until I read it right off here, from September to December of 2023.
Yes, I was in Lake Charles.
Okay, you didn't go to Texas at that time,
No, I was in Lake Charles.
but your parole officer just didn't put it down in your file.
Yes, because I was working for Turner Industries.
And you don't have a drinking problem, but you've been arrested several times for DWI.
Yes, I do have a drinking
Alcohol
problem.
in your fifth, right?
No, I do have a drinking problem. I was trying to get help. That's why I went to the sober living house.
But you evidently still got that problem because you've gotten arrested since then for drinking problems, right?
When? In September? That's what I'm saying.
Let me look at this just a minute here and see.
At the time of my arrest of December of 2023, they said I had alcoholic beverages in my car, which
Okay.
wasn't true. That's what I'm saying. I was trying to get help at that moment for my drinking. And
But I'm not trying to beat you down on this, but you'd already been in the house sober living from September to December. And then you got arrested in December
yes.
for having alcohol in your car.
Yeah, that's what they was trying to say I had alcohol, which wasn't true. That's what I'm saying. I wasn't drinking. I would tell you if I was drinking, but I wasn't. I was trying to get clean.
What were they saying the alcohol was?
A beverage. It was in a cup. They thought because I had a cup from Quick Mart, and they thought it was alcoholic beverage.
And they charged you with it.
Yes, but the charges later got dismissed.
I don't know anything.
Yeah, I'd like to ask another question. What's going on? Why are you in the rear with your payments? You say you were working.
Oh yes, because I was trying to get my car fixed. I had at the time I had a car that was down, and I was trying to get that fixed, and bills was piling up.
Why do you feel now that you need to be released? I mean, what are you going to do differently to if you're granted to be released?
Well, I will check into a program of such dealing with AA and get me a sponsor and obtain another job in the construction field. And
What about the anger management classes?
and take the anger management class. I will do that first.
Have you maybe located, I guess, where you are now, you can't find it, to locate those facilities to get those classes?
Yes, I have found them through the law library at this facility. The where I can sign up online and take the class. I don't have to be in person. I can do it through a Zoom meeting on my phone.
I got you. Okay,
Okay, now,
I'm through.
2.5 years ago, you were told to take anger management or domestic violence after a domestic violence arrest, correct?
Yes,
Man, you hadn't done that.
correct,
That was a condition of your parole.
correct.
So for 2.5 years now, you have violated the condition of your parole.
Correct.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, do you have anything else to say?
No, thank you.
Okay. Let's, your vote, sir.
Mr. Roundtree, at this time, you got a lot going against you, and my vote is gonna be to revoke.
Due to your numerous violations, including tons of criminal charges, my vote is also to revoke.
Yes, sir, Mr. Roundtree, I concur with my fellow board members to revoke. Sorry to give you that bad news, but that'll conclude this hearing. Thank you. The time is 9:53 in the morning.
Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.